I lived alone in the woods, a mile from any people, in a house which I built myself on the shore of Walden Pond in Concord, Massachusetts, and earned my living by the labor of my hands. I lived there 2 years and 2 months. I have thus a tight shingled and plastered house, 10 feet wide by 15 feet long, and 8-foot posts, with a garret and a closet, a large window on each side, 2 trap doors, 1 door at the end, and a brick fireplace opposite. The exact cost of my house? $28.12 1/2.
And he stayed to record the cycling of the seasons.
The book wheels marvelously through the seasons. He compressed his 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days at Walden Pond, in actuality, into one seasonal cycle.
Many people picture Thoreau as the Walden hermit, secluded, doing everything for himself. Not entirely true.
What Walden symbolizes is a balance between civilization and nature. Thoreau didn't move to a primitive landscape when he moved to Walden. It was only 1.5 miles from the village. He had society at his elbow. But he said in Walden, we need the tonic of wildness.
He hosted the Anti-Slavery Society picnic, and he had friends out there, friends who passed through, friends who spent time. He had the animals, but it was essentially him. And that was really the point, because his idea of reform is that you don't reform communities, you don't reform crowds, you reform people one at a time, and you reform yourself. And that's really where it begins. It's what the book means, if Walden means anything.
Self-reform acquired independence from society and the values of expediency. But Thoreau was not disconnected from the larger world. He was kept up to date by friends like the poet Ellery Channing. He supported the local Underground Railroad, which hid runaway slaves. His opposition to slavery even got him thrown into jail for a few hours. And he spent the night in jail simply because the sheriff and tax collector, one Sam Staples, had left for the day and didn't want to be bothered going back. And it wasn't even an original gesture. His neighbor, Bronson Alcott, had set the example 3 years earlier. So why do we still celebrate the night in jail? Again, say the experts, it is the transforming power of his writing. One critic wrote that, as a political warrior, Thoreau was a comic little figure. As a political writer, he was the most ringing and magnificent polemicist America has ever produced.